It's time.
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry. But wait, there's more.
I'm the guy.
Finger gun.
Garry Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
And now, the Garry Meier Show. Cocktail Hour, live. Live.
Cocktails. Woo, drinks.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
On Friday, October 25th, 2024. Exclusively on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel. But of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. With Halloween just less than a week away, the Walt Disney World monorail glides through Epcot, lit in an appropriate color scheme. And in its retail stores, and indeed in retail stores across the USA, the Christmas train is rapidly rolling in. Anyway, as for our show, the only way to stream along is
The GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
All of the past editions of the Cocktail Hour can be replayed on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio
And we may show them on the screen.
and or talk about them.
Ah, that's good. Disappeared.
Thank you for your attention.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live!
Live. Here we go. On America's podcast. Boom. Shakalaka. Todd Pickering is the Puerto Rican doorbell of the Cocktail Show. When he says live, that means get your drinks ready because the next hour is nothing but F-U-N. And that only starts to happen when I do a few things here. Kick the tires. There they are. Let's light them up, Alan. Light the tires. One more sequence happens on Fridays for the Cocktail Show. This young lady here has to remove the cat from her lap and the condom from her wine.
Hey.
Have you done? Is the cat gone?
The cat is not
Okay.
anywhere near my lap right now that I
Okay.
can tell. But I picked up a chemistry Chardonnay from Oregon. Isn't that kind of a pleasant little piece of
Yeah.
bottle art? Plus, it was cheap. It was at Binny's. It was on sale, so that's why I went with it. But ooh, look at that, kids!
Oh.
I think
Oh.
we got something
There
going
goes 3,
on.
2, 1.
Oh.
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 Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Doesn't
dribble.
necessarily mean that we've got Fugazi for the rest of the show, but I certainly have some wine for now. Cheers,
All
my
right,
dears.
let me get the Manhattan. Cheers, everybody. As I heard on the radio today, a DJ say, hey, you made it to Friday. And you know how DJs tell us how close we are to the weekend, and they tell you when you're at Friday. And then he said, my favorite thing, it's 60 degrees outside.
Outside?
I
Oh.
thought he was giving the temperature of the studio.
Oh. In
Love
most
that.
cases, I believe if you're a landlord, you have to keep it above 60 inside. So
All right,
there
whatever.
is that.
He made sure I was outside. I love that kind of stuff. As he introduced a Beach Boys song that came out about 45 years ago, in case you weren't familiar with it. Oh my God. And then they wonder why computers are taking over.
45, that's one of their later ones then, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Central Florida, Alan, 82. Is that comfortable?
It's not too bad. I wish it were cooler. After having gone to upstate New York week before last, I sort of miss the cooler weather already.
All right,
can't-
but you
I
moved to
can't go out- I
Florida
can't
for
go out-
this reason.
No, I moved to Florida for February, not for October.
Maybe you just get a place.
Gonna
in
have to go
Florida
by
for February.
coastal.
Yeah.
There's no.
Uh,
But the good news is that I just noticed as we started the show that StreamYard has once again updated the virtual studio and no longer zaps the pre-show comments.
oh,
So the pre-show comments
Oh.
stayed in the studio this week.
So,
that means
so Kellyanne is
Now-
going to be. There we are.
Kellyanne.
I was going to say I have to put this graphic up first.
Yeah,
since,
that happens every week. But Kellyanne is front and center.
if I can get back to them there they are.
I
Okay, and she
saved it because
says,
I thought we'd lose it.
My
sore
sore
schnauzer.
That's the name of a children's book, isn't it? I was
I
shopping
believe
and
it
had
is.
a can of pineapple juice in my car. It happened to be upside down. A young couple approached me and, oh, wait, I'm posting before the show. Never mind. Yes, because the upside down pineapple in the shopping cart means you're available, according to folklore.
That's
Yeah.
what somebody on the interwebs made up a couple of weeks ago, and we're sticking with it.
Greg says
Although
I
I
was
have
always.
heard that, like, that pineapple door decorations indicate that that is the home of a swinger. So you've got that going for you too.
You've heard tell. Okay.
Well,
Greg,
only because a friend of mine moved into an apartment complex, and this kind of interesting couple next door had this pineapple door decoration, and somebody went, "You know what that means?" So, there you go.
all right, now I know. Greg says that we're told to arrive at least 3 hours before boarding. Yes, and everybody does that. Now,
Well,
is
and we
Greg
want
the
you
one?
to take off your shoes, and then we pat you down too. But that's beside the point.
Is Greg the one that I was noticing as we were getting ready for the show? He was apologizing. Is he the one that's been apologizing? Alan, is Greg the
Yeah.
one that's been what's he apologizing for?
I think he said it right here. He steps over the line occasionally.
But
in the
what
comments.
can you give me an example? Is it
Well, the reason we don't share those comments is he steps over the line.
Is because he stepped
okay?
over the line.
I mean,
But we should
what-
also, at the same time, appreciate the fact that Greg is one of our generous prize
Yes.
package contributors these
I mean,
days. So
is it
thank you for that?
is it really offensive, and is it offensive to whom?
And
Who's he
That's
you
more-
might
offending?
not want to know.
That's a longer discussion than we got time for, Garry. Let's move on.
Okay, I guess I didn't see any of it. I don't know what it was.
There you
All
go.
right, who else?
Because
Who else?
Ellen's protecting you.
So it's against me. At this
Not
point,
necessarily.
I don't care. Did I say I cared? Mark, sitting next to freshly started campfire in a windy, desert dry Iowa campground. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we'll watch for that on David Muir's news next week. Cindy
Can
is
prevent
on a runway
wildfires.
at MCO awaiting takeoff. Okay, and waving to Alan as she departs to Lincolnville. She was down at DW, and MCO is
Orlando
What's that?
International. Its original name
Mission
was,
Control Orlando.
its original
Yeah.
name was McCoy, the way that O'Hara's original name
Oh.
was Orchard.
and that's their luggage identification. That's their identification.
Yeah, if you're flying between Orlando and let's say O'Hare, you're going ORD to MCO or MCO to ORD.
Yeah, yeah. Number one for takeoff.
Last time I was up, I went MCO to MDW, and let me tell you, driving Pulaski from Midway to Skokie was a very, very long, unpleasant journey.
Okay, well, stay in Florida. I don't know. You're pining for these northern areas, and then you get there, and then trouble.
I would have just been happy if the Kennedy was open, but I don't know.
Okay.
Leslie, you used to do traffic. When is that supposed to happen?
They're working on the Kennedy Expressway.
Like
in
any
Chicago.
project, it seems to be running a little longer than expected. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that at some point it might go over budget. I can't be sure. I'm just basing this on past construction projects.
Yes,
Because
3 years.
invariably they get away with saying, We did
3 years has been the time slotted for this
Right.
the main
Right.
thoroughfare from O'Hare to downtown Chicago. So yeah, take your time. It doesn't interrupt anybody's
And,
plans.
and mind you, it's not like it's going to end up being extra lanes in either direction either. It's barely going to make a difference in terms of an expressway that is probably about 50 years past its prime already. So we got that going for us. Yippee.
While Cindy was at
Hey, but
DW,
good news for Chicagoans and the speed of travel. It looks like the idea of lowering all the speed limits in Chicago to 25 miles per hour has not passed city council. I think it's been deferred more than just canceled. So.
great. You're really selling the city tonight. Cindy was at
love
Magic. I know what MK is. That's Magic Kingdom. And I guess they had a Halloween party. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were represented with Donald Duck and her group. Alan, did you go to you went to the Halloween press party, right?
I was at the first night of the Halloween party way back at the beginning of August.
Yeah, that was in July.
Yeah. Well, and as I was showing you before the show, it's a good time to show it now. Our very own Todd Pickering went to the West Coast version, which is called the Oogie Boogie Bash. Let's see if the audience can pick him out of this set of photos. Here he is.
Oh, and he's dressed like Carol Burnett.
Yeah, the outfit's by I'm blanking on his name. Who was the famous designer of her gowns? Bob Mackie. Bob Mackie, yeah.
What's the costume?
Todd is dressed as Madame Medusa from the Rescuers animated feature from, what did we determine it was, 1977?
Yes.
Yeah.
With a youngster named Bob Newhart voicing one of the characters. Yeah.
I had no idea what that movie was because I was working the all-night shift at a radio station, and that's that clip that Alan likes to play every now and then. That's from that shift.
Oh, the audio clip we've
Ava
got?
Gabor was in that too.
What?
Thanks for stopping by The Loop, FM 98, WLUP Chicago.
Into Steely Dan.
Wow.
Smooth? Yeah. So I had an all-night schedule, and I wasn't going to the movies much, and that one just passed me by. I'm sure I would have liked it. Okay.
You could have caught a matinee for probably $1.50.
A matinee? Right. Okay.
On your way home after the show.
On my way home, yes. I had a ritual when I worked all night. So I'd get home, and I'd make myself a fried egg sandwich every morning when I got home, stay up about an hour or two, go to bed, wake up about 5, because my shift was 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then I get down to the radio station about midnight, work on some stuff. And then on Mondays, I would go to this bar and MC the bands that they had at this bar called Haymakers in Wheeling, Illinois.
Oh, that was very popular.
Yes. And I'd make $50 an appearance and cash. And I bought my living room furniture with that money because I just bought a condo and I used that $50 every week and accumulated enough to buy some furniture. I'll tell you what, those are good times. I miss those times.
So much more lucrative than the job I had offered to me as a WMAQ dancing dollar, I think, which paid $15 per appearance. Do you remember those big dancing dollars?
Yes, but this was how long ago? That's when $15 meant something. $50 sounds like nothing now.
That was rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the promotional line WMAQ is going to make me rich didn't apply to the on-air talent?
Not really.
No.
I turned down the offer, but I hear a lot of people made some nice side cash doing it.
Cash. That's side cash. Who else is here? Samantha's always here from Mundelein, Illinois. Hello, Samantha. Good to see you. And Brenda in Fairfield Glade. Where was that? Tennessee.
Oh. Hello,
nice.
Brenda.
Catherine, hello.
That's a name I haven't seen before. Hello.
I know. I
Kathy.
saw that earlier, and I thought I think that's a new GarrForcer. Welcome. And who else? Bill, Glendale, AZ. I wonder, has it cooled down in Arizona? Is it down to 92, 93?
I believe someone did post something earlier that it was somewhere in the low 90s, and of course it's a dry heat, so that makes it so much more bearable.
And Deb lives near O'Hare International in Des Plaines. That's right next to O'Hare International. I worked in Des Plaines. That's one of the radio stations that I worked at in Des Plaines, Illinois. Kevin, hello, Northwest Indiana, checking in. And Tundra Blitz, good to see you. Kathleen,
Wait,
Naperville.
can we go back to Tundra Blitz for a moment? What exactly is? Oh, it's
That's got to be some sports team's eagle or other bird logo. Is it the Philadelphia
Okay.
Eagles or?
because someone in my neighborhood has that flag flying, and I was trying to figure out, is that a Halloween thing? Is it political? But now that I see it this way, I realize it's a bird. Oh, Iowa Hawkeyes. Thank you, Tundra Blitz. Oh my goodness. Well, see, you can get college credit for watching this show. What?
What's super confusing here in Florida is that the Florida Gators have a G logo that looks just like the Packers G logo. And when I first moved here, I thought, gee, there's all these Packer fans here in Orlando. That's odd.
Except it wasn't.
So it's the Hawkeyes flag.
Well,
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Thank
That
you,
makes
folks,
sense.
for clearing that up for me.
All right. And
So I drink.
Kathleen, we got that one. Martin is always here from British Columbia. Good to see Martin. And okay, I think, are we ready? Greg, are you apologizing again? Ben Franklin said it's what it is till it ain't what it ain't.
What it is. It is what it is till it ain't.
Thank you, Benny Franklin, for those wise words.
And bifocals. What a guy.
Oh, and I think he invented the battery. I think he had something to do with battery and electricity, and he was a Renaissance man. And we
quite
can't
a
wait
playa, too.
He's a playa. Yeah, he's a playboy. We can't wait any longer because this woman gives us such good cheer every time she's on, once a month. Our official bartender of the GarrForce, Jenna Duddleston. Hello.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
It's going. I was trying to communicate what the Hawkeye was to you guys. We Hawkeyes are.
There are things.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. No, the Tundra Bliss was a Hawkeye. We love the Hawkeyes. Caitlin Clark, Greg Kittle went to Iowa. There's a lot of big Iowa people. We like Iowa here.
It's the heartland.
You're using the royal we, or did you spend some time in Iowa yourself?
No, I just had family who went there, so I'm like an honorary Hawkeye, I feel. I always cheer for them when they're on, so I like the Hawkeyes.
Oh,
I like the Hawkeyes.
That's very nice.
Swing state.
Yeah.
Everything's a swing state. Swing state. God help us all. Really, please have this thing be over. And it's I know soon, but not soon enough. I think we're all just whipped to hell. We're just beaten down. And that night's going to be probably not satisfying in that it probably won't be the results finalized. So that'll drag on. And then there'll be fistfights at Thanksgiving. And Jenna told us in the green room that she broke up a fistfight at the bar this week. It wasn't about politics, was it?
No, but I will say this about politics really quick. You want to know why I love the Olympics so much when the Olympics come every 2 years? It's because we as America realize we're all on the same team.
Yeah,
so I wish we could all remember that, but like that, they don't care. They're like, woo, who gives a shit? Like, anyways, but yes, I broke up a fight this week, and it definitely took a few years off my life. But I got a lovely compliment in breaking up this fight. It could have been really bad. Let's just say that. Like, it could have been a lot worse than it was. Basically, I'm bartending. I have a full bar. I have a party. And all of a sudden, there's like this. If anyone who's ever worked in any type of any like industry like this, when you sense alcohol, I don't know how to explain it, but there's like this tingly feeling that you're like, oh no, something's not right. And I look and I'm like, oh no. And it's two people that I know, like separate sides of the family, will say, and they're talking and they're not arguing. They're just talking. But it's that, like, when you're talking and you're drinking and someone put hands on someone else, like the talking is really intense and it's close and you're just like, oh dear God, like, please no, please no, please no. So I'd like hop over the bar, I go outside with them, and I just stand in the middle of these two men, and I let them each talk. And this one says their piece, and I'm like, and then this one says their piece, and I'm like, and I go, okay, here I go. I'm going to talk now. I said, we have two options. That's it. I said, option one, we can let what just happened ruin our night. And we can realize that the guy who was trying to make the joke it wasn't a funny joke. Sorry, it wasn't a funny joke. I go, we can let it ruin our night. If it ruins our night, the party's over and we all got to go home. Okay, that's option one. Option two, we can realize it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. And we can move on and realize it doesn't matter and all have a good time. And that was what we went with. And that was the option. And then it was fine. And then it was all good. And I was like, okay, we're going to go with that option. And, we diffused something that could have gotten ugly really fast. And then I had two men come up to me after, like, probably like 30 minutes later, who were like linebacker size men that were like, you did a very good job of diffusing a situation that could have gotten really ugly. And I think that's just kind of bartending. I don't know how to explain that, or
does that happen?
I don't know where. It's like once in a blue moon. Like, it's very rare that it happens, but when it does happen, it's kind of like when you're in that like fight or flight mode, like something takes over you and you just like, you don't think, you just kind of react. And my whole thing is, I'm like, we are not making the situation worse than it needs to. We're diffusing it, because it was still early in the night. And I was like, we're all having fun. Let's have fun. Please don't make me throw anyone out. Like, I don't ever want to. Like, no bartender actually wants to like throw people out, because it just like ruins the night. Like, I want to have fun, but like,
all right. Did they both stay?
But they both stayed. Everyone agreed that it didn't matter. I looked like a school teacher. I like looked every grown man outside in the eyes, and I was like, did we agree? We're not going to let it ruin our night, right? Right? And they were like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I was like, good.
Nice. At least
go inside and have fun. So yeah, that's how the night went. But I feel like I need a break after that.
Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, in 100 years, nobody's going to remember any of us. So
no one
if
cares.
not sooner,
no one cares.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, it really just doesn't matter. So like, just have fun, be a nice person, and I really think that the rest kind of.
Well, that's been my philosophy on this show from day one. From day one to enjoy the short dance. What are we doing? Yeah. I mean, it's over before you know, and we're like, oh, we got to get into this muck. No. No.
By the way, only other politics on the show today, I'm giving away a sticker, because
love it.
I want to know who connected to politics decided that every voter had to get a sticker.
But you don't have the one I've seen. You don't have the one I've seen from so many friends in Cook County that looks like the Pepsi logo. Have you seen that one?
I vote in DuPage County, Illinois. So, but I'm thinking, do we really need stickers?
Well, okay, now you prompt this question.
Now I'm passing it on. Okay.
Yes, who pays for the stickers?
You do.
What's
I'm saying.
What's the budget for that? Do we need that?
Oh,
for governments that have all these shortfalls, where they're talking about, I'm filling out little squares today trying to figure out whether I want to increase taxes for this thing or that thing, and I'm thinking, I'm going to cut the budget right here with this effing thing, because there's no reason we all need a sticker.
Somebody connected owns a sticker company. That's how that works.
Somebody's brother, ne'er-do-well brother, who can't get employment otherwise, is like, I can get you stickers.
It's like Ash
it's the
Wednesday.
marketing.
How long? How long do you wear the ashes? How long do you wear that sticker?
It's just like a marketing of like, hey, we did it. You know, that's it. That's all it is. Like, I'm in the club, you're not. Ha.
Too bad it's not an ad blocker, right?
Right.
I got my sticker. I want the ads to stop. Today I went and got my mail. There were 6 more ads in the mailbox. I'm like, I voted 4 days ago.
Okay, that's why we
somebody
drink.
just reminded me, if your company gives you time off to vote, this is your proof. Okay, then maybe if you request a sticker, and they don't need nearly as many that way, but look at me, I'm just trying to cut the budgets, you guys.
All right, that's why we have Jenna
Let's
on.
drink.
Because she's
Yep,
gonna
and
give
that's
us
why
a
we're gonna drink, guys. We're gonna drink. This one's a fun one this week. It involves a plate of sugar and cinnamon. Like, remember
Yum.
that time when you were a kid? I was telling them in the green room, like when you had the toast with the butter and then you sprinkled the cinnamon and sugar on top. Like, come on, we all did that, right? Right? I know I did.
Yes.
But I know I'm so excited. So today we are making a caramel apple margarita. So I figured with Halloween around the corner, like look how beautiful that looks. Come on, like, is that not the most picturesque drink you've ever seen in your life?
Yes.
It's gorgeous. And I
Nice.
like that. And you guys are gonna like it. Anyways, okay. So first thing we're gonna do, again, this step is obviously optional, but I think if you want to have the like sugar on the rim, that's when you want to do this. So you're gonna take some caramel sauce and you're gonna put it on a plate in a circle. Okay, this is so lots of caramel. Beautiful. All right, I'll put that down to the side. Take your glass. And then as I always say, you can use any kind of fancy glass you'd like. If you don't want it to be as strong, put it in a taller glass. If you want it to be a little stronger, shorter. I need it shorter today. Okay, so we're gonna get some caramel along the rim. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I'm so excited about this. And nothing's happened yet, you know, like we're just getting started. All right, so we got our caramel plate there. Now we're gonna take the fun cinnamon and sugar plate and we're gonna just dab it. Okay, we're gonna give us that cinnamon sugar rim. It's so good. Oh my God, I need to like make all these for you guys one day. It's so good. Okay, so we have that.
Yes,
so we have our
do.
Nice
yes, we
rim.
do. So we have, right? So we're going to keep that off to the side and we are going to build this in a shaker. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, obviously, when we do this, we always do our non-alcohol to our alcohol. That way, if you mess up, we just dump her out. Okay. We're going to take some apple cider and we're going to do 1 ounce. Okay. So a little ounce of some apple cider. The next one is salted caramel. So you're going to find this in like the coffee tea section of your grocery store. Just kind of what you put in your coffee. And you're just going to do a splash of the salted caramel in there, just to add a little bit of flavor. Okay. Then we're going to take.
So you could use it in your coffee and stuff too. Then I mean that's double. So you can be all Starbucky right at home.
Yeah. Who needs Starbucks when you have your own little bar barista at home, right? We'll do that. Then we're going to take some simple syrup. We're going to do 1/2 ounce. Good old simple syrup. Obviously, you can make it. You can buy it. It's totally your preference, whatever. Next, you're going to do some form of orange liqueur. I have Contraire. I hope I'm saying that right. Or like triple sec, whatever you have. And we're going to do 1/2 ounce of this guy. We're really being mixologists today with all of our mixing and brewing and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Okay, lots of fun. Then for the fun part, we know I like tequila. Take your tequila of choice. Obviously, I'm going to say this because you're making margaritas, because we're adding ingredients into this. Don't use the nice tequila. Like, don't use the expensive kind. Use the cheap shit. Okay, because you're adding a bunch of shit, so you're not actually going to taste like the notes of the tequila. So go cheaper. This is all I have at the moment, okay? So we are going to do 2 ounces of tequila. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. There we go. Pour her in.
Do they still use the term jigger? My father always used to talk about adding a jigger of something.
Hey.
Yeah, always. Ooh.
No, it's the J word. The J word.
No, that's what, 1.5 ounces, right?
It's a an ounce or 2 ounces of tequila. So this side is 2, this side is 1. Okay. Now we got everything. Okay. Shake. Make sure it's nice and secure. I know Garry likes that sound. All right. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, guys, glass now. Can you see this? The caramel's like
and it's kind of oozing down.
Wow.
Okay. Then we're just gonna what I call a dirty dump. So dirty dump means you dump it in with your ice. Pour in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Beautiful. And then if you'd like, you can do this. You don't have to, but I always like to do it. Just top it off with a little club sodas. Okay, little bubbles. And then we're gonna take a little, we're gonna take our little apple, little slice of an apple, and we're gonna put it on the edge for our garnish because we drink with our eyes first here. And if that is not the prettiest, most glorious holiday concoction you've ever seen, I don't know what else is. And you guys are lying if you don't think it's pretty. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to taste it.
How does the caramel
Tastes
work
pretty
on the rim? I mean, what is that like when you're drinking? Is it conducive to the whole drink, or does it stick to your mouth, or what?
No, I think it adds a little flavor to it. Obviously, if you don't want, you don't have to do that. Like that part's optional. It's like adding salt to your margarita. Some people want the salt, some people don't want the salt. But I think it does add the element of like a little sweetness to it that you get. Just like when you have a margarita, you kind of want that saltiness to balance the tequila, where in this case, we're going a little bit more on the sweeter side. But this is so good.
Oh, that is so pretty.
Looks
good. And it's all colored beside and everything.
Yeah, the
it's almost like you put a heart in there. Aw.
I know, right? It's just like it just makes everything better, I think. Like just I wish it was staying on. But it's just so pretty.
Or
I like, we drink with our eyes.
But I have a story about testicles coming up later on in the show.
Oh, good.
Leslie, I don't know how we made that turn, but alrighty then. We went from the apple looks like a heart to a pair of nuts. So God bless. Can I say that on the show? Am I allowed to say that? I just said it, but can I say that?
You can
say
anything you want on it.
This is not regulated. Bill said Dirty Dump is a great clown name. That's true. And what did you say that you don't want to say or think you shouldn't say?
I said nuts.
Right.
Please. The
I
internet.
think it's fine, but I like to make sure. You never know, Garry. Like you don't want to upset
Yes, I do
anyone.
know. Everything. It's the Wild West. It's the internet. Jenna, another fine performance. I can't believe we're heading into November with your next drink. I really. What the
I know.
hell?
I was thinking about that. Like, the leaves. Oh, the leaves.
The
even just
daylight.
like I feel and I think like especially in Chicago, it went from being like it still felt like summer for a while to like I was driving this past week and all the leaves are falling. It's that like crisp chill, but like that nice fall chill in the air. And I'm like, oh, like it's here. Like she has arrived and she's not going anywhere.
No denying it.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm like, let's see if I can see if I'm
And
not
we
the
here
snow.
in
I'm not ready for the
Chicago
snow.
area have been lucky enough to have like a real colorful fall this year too. It didn't seem like it was going to be, but it's been pretty festive. So that's a plus.
It's been beautiful.
And in about a week, there's a. Is that your pumpkin collection, Leslie, or is that Jenna's?
No, see, I bought the pumpkin. I bought a self-carving pumpkin apparently this year. I had no idea. I put it outside and then I woke up the next morning and it had a perfect hole right in it. It was so beautiful that I put 2 googly eyes above the hole and said, yeah, I did that. Turns out, I guess squirrels like these things. And so, they completely decimated my Halloween decoration, my fall decorations.
Perfect Hole is another clown name. That's good.
It was a perfect hole.
Now, I just heard today that when you carve pumpkins and then put them outside, yes, you're attracting all kinds of vermin. They will get in there and start munching and bugs. So you're better off not carving if you're putting them outside. And vultures,
And that's where when I mention this, people are like, "Oh, you can throw lacquer all over them or WD-40," and it's like, well, that's kind of shitty. That's like putting out a buffet and then sprinkling cyanide all over it. You don't invite everything to come eat and then throw some poison on top. So I quite obviously, gourds and pumpkins are going to be squirrel food. I just wrote it off as squirrel food, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
and in about a week or two, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, you're getting some daylight in the back there, which is nice, but that's going away.
And we talked about this on the podcast. 90% of the people that I've spoken with say, please, let's not change the clocks. Let's just leave her be. And yet, year after year, we're going to do
We're
that
still
thing where
doing
all of
it,
a
yeah.
sudden,
Why? What was the purpose when they did
Okay,
this?
we
How-
talked about this too this week, where when it went into effect, it was for the farmers or for the school kids or something. And
right.
I think it's all bullshit. And they just kept it. And here we are. We don't know why. Let's just leave it alone. We want the daylight to be as much as it can be in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes,
the way
please.
we should do it. So whatever this is, leave it at this. Is this daylight saving or is this standard or what are we in now?
We're in daylight saving.
Saving. And here's a drinking game, Jenna. If you hear any newscaster, which you will, say savings time, take a drink. These people are giving us the news and they don't even know how to say things properly. Saving time, not savings time.
Daylight saving
Yeah.
time. There.
Which will come first? It'll be dark behind Leslie, or we change the clocks, which automatically will make it dark behind Leslie.
Well, what is this, a contest? Let's see.
Yes.
We change the clock.
How many jelly beans are in the jar?
How many jelly beans?
Win a date with Garry Meier.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
tell you without giving too much away that next Friday's show, I don't know what the background's gonna be.
Because you won't be here.
Because I don't think I'm gonna be in the broadcast, Nick. I'm gonna be somewhere else.
Taking a leave of absence.
SOP, some other place. Yep.
She's fed up and she's had it with this bullshit and she needs a week off.
Udi here. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's happening. No matter if we acknowledge it or not, it's going away.
Yeah.
And it's so damn depressing.
Ugh.
I really don't like it. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody really likes it. And here's the big 800-pound what the hell in the room. November 5th is looming. And I think that's all people can think about because it just keeps coming at us. And we just want it to be over. You got a sticker.
Yeah.
And then we can move on, maybe. Maybe.
Yes, please.
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
be fine.
Jenna,
I'm just gonna
thank
keep
you.
drinking and reading. So
That's it.
That's fine.
That's all you can do.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I'm gonna
By
do.
the way, cute jacket.
Hey, wait a minute.
you.
Before you leave, you were talking about you're watching Dancing with the Stars on TikTok. You're not watching it when it airs. You're just watching clips on TikTok. And I guess, Leslie, you've seen some episodes because you talked about.
Watch it on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
Like a true millennial, I watch the highlights. Yep.
That Olympic guy is in the mix and he's doing well.
Oh, Pommel Horse Boy is doing quite well. He is kind of damn adorbs, a geeky
He's
and
so
yet
cute.
buff. Yeah, there's a lot going on there that
He's
makes him
he's a
interesting.
you know what it is? He's a sexy nerd. I think
Yep.
everyone kind of sees like themselves in him a little bit, and they're like, "I'm a nerd. He's a nerd. I can't get jacked. You know, like maybe I could be like him." Like he's just he's like Sheldon Cooper, but with muscles.
Well, and that's the thing though, is like there's something gawky and kind of weird about his dance step. Like he's not super smooth, but then he goes and does a flip and then is able to take his partner and flip her. And then, and then he throws up his guns and it's like, well, damn, there's a lot going on with that guy.
All right. And you are also watching the Golden Bachelorette. We've been talking about this, and the only reason we're watching it, myself included, is because Pascal, who is in the final 3, he has cut my hair for a number of years, and he goes, we found this out when it first started because there's some sleuth who has a website and finds out right away who goes all to the end. I think the last one is live, so I don't know if you can predict that online. You can, but he knows everything up until that point. They're down to 3. Pascal makes it to the final 2, and then he pulls himself out of it for some reason. But they did this thing where they go to the hometowns of the final 4, and 2 of the contestants were from Chicago, and they went to Pascal's hair salon. And so I looked at it and thought, I don't see chemistry with Pascal and this woman. And I guess that's why he pulls out, because it just didn't register with him.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a nice car. You see that? What was that, a Maserati? What's he driving there? It's a sweet car.
I don't know. He probably got it at Bentonhausen if he was smart.
That's right. When Bentonhausen sold Maseratis.
Yeah.
That's right. So are you watching that, Jenna? Are you watching Golden Bachelorette?
I started, but I stopped. I just, there's a lot of television, and it's football season, and football takes up a half of my life now that it's back. So once, outside of football season, I watch a lot, but right now I'm not watching. I'm watching the bare minimum and a lot of TikTok highlights.
What show is that? What platform is the Bare Minimum on? Because I watched The Bear, and I thought it was supposed to be a comedy, but I was confused.
I thought the Bears coach
Bare Minimum might be something.
I thought the Bears coach got suspended. Didn't that show get suspended?
Did that happen today?
Yesterday, I think.
Who got suspended?
I thought the Bears. I thought I saw an article that said the Bears head coach was suspended.
For what?
Oh God, how bad have I been?
I didn't see the detail.
Okay. I thought you meant that sausage show.
And you keep calling it a sausage show, but I don't think
it's called The Bear. The Bear is great. It is not a comedy, but it is a great show. But it is not a comedy.
And it is based on this place called Mr. Beef in Chicago, which is right next door to where I was part ownership of this nightclub. And now that this has become a big hit, that nightclub that I was involved, that was many years ago. But I thought, wow, we should have called the nightclub Mr. Sausage right next to Mr. Beef. That would have been the fun thing, Mr. Sausage and Mr. Beef right next to each other.
And it turns out that when you stopped owning that bar restaurant, it turned into a gentleman's club for
It was
a while.
a strip club. It went into a strip club, yes. Yeah.
So Mr. Sausage would have been
It was Mr. Sausage.
It would have worked, yeah.
It was fun to
Or
be
just call it
Jack
the
Ruby
sausage.
Jr. for about a year and a half, though, I'll tell you. Really.
Okay, the latest headline is he is not suspended.
Okay.
Why would they suspend him?
I don't know.
I mean, unless he was hanging out with P. Diddy. What's the point? They're doing well this year. Why would they suspend him now?
Gary, it's only week 8. It's only week 8. Shh.
I know.
We can't. Shh.
I know. Everybody gets all ramped up halfway through the season.
Let's get through. Let's play a divisional team, and then let's regroup and have this conversation. We got to see how the next 4 weeks go. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I can't even speak. My body doesn't know how to react with them actually playing semi-decent, because I'm just so used to them breaking my heart every week, and I feel like I want to open my heart up, and I can't, and I shouldn't. And it's scary. It's very scary. It's very scary.
Not to mention the fact that your place of employment has been in the shadow of a record-breaking team this year.
For all the wrong reasons.
Oh, God. So is it going to be better next year, do you think?
I don't know how it could be worse than this past year.
Well, we had this discussion before the cameras went live, where when you say that,
it always does.
Worse, yes.
It always does. It always does.
Yes, with Ryan, and I don't want to get into the particulars because I think it's a pretty sensitive thing with family members, but this one family member is going through hell, and just when you think it can't get any worse, you run into a deer, and that's the end of the story that Ryan was telling us. This poor person was going through something and then hit a deer, and when you're going through something that bad, you're thinking it can't get any worse, and then you hit a deer. It can get worse. That's
Right.
the scary part.
It does.
can
It
always
it
get-
it does. Yeah. We
Yeah.
you just gotta find the good where you can.
So when people come to the bar, are you like a destination for watching Bears games? Do people come for that camaraderie?
Sometimes
it
like
really
we
isn't
have,
that far from their
it's not that far, but like the issue with the Bear Stadium is like because they're on the lakefront, there's such this weird like it's hard for there to feel like you're a part of something with the Bears because there's a
Okay.
giant highway, even though it's Lakeshore Drive, that like you have to like walk over the bridge or walk under the tunnel. And we're close, but we're not like close. Like
Right.
we're not that close. So
You know,
but
and that's
yeah,
what Gary and I were talking about. Chicago invariably wants to build these things right up against the lake always. Any future plans are still right up against the lake, which means that invariably there's really only one way in and one way out too, which makes it
how
really
they have
complicated
not
as opposed
done
to like moving it into the neighborhoods.
how they have not done like cab services via the water, like a water cab, blows my mind. I just like you could do one from 31st Street Harbor to Burnham
Yes.
Harbor. Like it would be so much easier to do that, and I would do it in a heartbeat if I ever went to like going to games, because I went to a game once and it took me over an hour to get home, and I live in Bridgeport, and it's not that far, and it
Which,
was
for
absurd.
people who don't know, what's the distance?
It's literally probably
5 miles.
yeah, not even. I don't even think it's that far. I think it might be like 3 miles.
To go 3 miles, it was an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
On the
we've
other
talked
hand,
about
Gary
this.
points out that like doing the boats might be problematic when it's 37 below zero and you're going to a stadium that still hasn't figured out how to put a roof on it. So there is that issue as well.
And Tundra Blitz brought something up that I wanted to mention. Major League Baseball must be peeing their pants because the World
Oh,
Series
yeah.
is the #1 and #2 markets in the country. I mean,
Yep.
that's gold for any sports event.
Oh, yeah. Considering that last year the World Series rating was the lowest World Series rating of all time.
I don't even who was in it.
and it was the Texas Rangers and
Yeah. Okay.
I just know Texas
that's all you
won,
need to
but
say.
it was bad. It was not like a worthy watch. But also, it like the thing that stinks about baseball playoffs is like they play at like 2:00. I'm like, how like this is you're not helping your cause when it's in the middle of everyone's workday and people have things going on. Like,
Okay. Well, the
baseball
World
gotta figure
Series
it
will
out.
be in
If
prime
we
time.
ran things, it would be so much better.
But here's the
Smooth
thing: it's
sailing.
going to rub up against November. It's baseball. It should be over already.
Yeah.
Not going into November. All right. That's enough of that.
Bill says it was Arizona versus Texas last year.
Thank you. Yes, the
Ooh.
Diamondbacks. Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting. All right. Thank you,
Is it-
Jenna. We'll talk to you in a few weeks now at this point.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
All right. Happy Halloween. Let's take care of some business, Alan, and then Ryan will come on and give us whatever he's got. And then Leslie's got some stories. We have to set the table for the giveaway. And do you want to do that now or after we play
Should
some
we do that
commercials?
before? Let's do that before.
Okay.
Ellen, did you have a hashtag working already? Did I see?
No, that was last week's. It popped up when I was trying for a different button.
Oh.
How about
Well,
hashtag Halloween, since we're so close, and we'll just go with that.
Seems very appropriate. And I didn't put up my Halloween wreath, so sorry. And I didn't wear a costume. except for a, Leslie costume. So here's the deal. We're giving these away for a limited time only, thanks to Tracy from Wisconsin. And part of the reason is this thing has some heft, so it's costing me a bit more to send these out these days. But
didn't postage just go up too?
What?
Didn't postage just go up?
Oh yes.
Oh
yes,
I
it
think
did.
Leslie threw it. There you go.
So there you go. We do have slinkies thanks to Tracy from Wisconsin, as well as bendables from her, which are kind of Halloween themed, and space aliens now too. And she is, of course, the person who got us started with ball liquors. So I'll give you one of those. Let's see. Our friends from Oh Yes, of course, incredibly generous. Aren't they going to be on the show next Friday?
Yes, because they're doing a charity event for Veterans Day. We're going to talk about that and hear some of their music.
So, Oh Yes, they are going to be here along with their super cool koozies, guitar picks, and bracelets. Scott from Scott's Vintage Antiques and Collectibles, of course, provides us with our fortune-telling fish. So cool. Got kind of a drink combo, so pour for the top of your bottle, and these super cool cubes that do not ice your drink, but definitely turn them into a disco experience. Mind you, don't ever use these in boiling water. They say that they should not be used in super hot drinks. Yeah, I'll give away the sticker. So you can pretend, even if you don't vote, that you voted. Alan Delinka, our producer, has provided us with a whole new generation of I'm a Magnet winner magnets for season 5. And finally, the prize that started it all, your very own wine condom.
All right, hashtag Halloween.
Wait.
What?
One other sponsor that we need to thank, and they've provided us with some crazy new swag, is our friends at Buddy Bear Car Wash. So I will be throwing in a free Buddy Bear Car Wash, a static cloth for, chamoising your car, and your very own Buddy Bear Car Wash dash wipe. So there you go.
Oh,
how cool is that?
They bring us all the music on the GarrForce.
Yes,
okay. We'll take care of some business.
And a reminder, I'm sorry, Gary, if you have one within the last 6 months to a year, let's say a year, let somebody else win. And super cool, like people who've gotten into our drawings in the past who realize that have been generous enough to regift. So yeah, let's leave it to the new kids to get in on hashtag Halloween.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Letterman. Thank you. Hello. All right. Here is the fine sponsor, Bettenhausen Automotive.
Save big at Bettenhausen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on 159th Street in Tinley Park. During Ram Power Days, save $17,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500. Get $12,000 off a new Jeep Grand Cherokee or Chrysler Pacifica. Save $8,000 on a new Jeep Compass or $7,000 off a new Jeep Wrangler. Showroom never closes. Choose from over 900 vehicles at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
Pack a sandwich, 900 vehicles to look at. I'll look at the first 450. I'll have a lunch break, and then I'll look at the other 450.
And they're not going to bug you in between either. You're just going to feel really welcome, and they're going to treat you so swell the entire time.
Enjoy the candy wagon, all that they have to offer there. And next Friday, David Hochberg will be a guest on the program to talk about what the housing market was like this year and what he thinks it's going to be like in the coming months. And he knows all about it. He's been doing it a long time.
The interest rates have been up and down and up and down. Yeah. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. He'll set you straight. That's next week, David Hochberg. The following week, in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, Terry Savage, the financial analyst we've had on a number of times to tell us her read. That's post-election, and she is down the middle as far as she just calls it like she sees it. She doesn't play politics. It's her view of how the markets usually react, and that's in 2 weeks. Okay, Ryan, how are you?
Hey, I'm on location somewhere different today.
Hey, that beam looks like Leslie's beam.
They almost line up, don't they? Yeah.
Look at that. Remarkable.
It's like
Well,
a
look at
very
that.
interesting roof line.
Yes.
So, Ryan, we have a lot to talk about. You were telling us, and I alluded to it. I don't want to get into particulars about what's going on with your family, but don't say things can't get any worse. That's all we're saying.
Correct.
Because that triggers something,
that's
and
right.
then boom.
That's right.
So,
and when I went to the doctor this week, that I think you mentioned on the show, the reception was nice enough to say, well, you're only going to live another 31 years. And I went, great. I'll get my clock and I'll put it by my bed so I know how many more years I'm going to live.
So you fill
Who
out the
says
forms, and she says this to you. You're only going to live.
She was just casually talking. Oh, you're sick, and how old are you, and whatever. And she said, oh, you're only going to live another 31 years. And I went,
well, thank you for being so precise.
Okay. I went, okay.
How old are you now?
46. So I was hoping for more than 31, but
wow.
I just,
well, that's
you're
nice
sick
to hear.
And you're there to get, feeling better. And she's telling you only got 31 years. So, but I just go, okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. What
So
else is going on?
That's not much. We got Halloween candy. I got that on sale. I have a here in a little bit. I found it at Farm and Fleet. They had a grand opening, so they had discounted Halloween candy. So, and I'm still trying to figure out a Halloween costume. $3 for bags of candy. So I bought a half a dozen of them and kind of mixed in my own mix.
$3 for a whole bag of those mini bars?
Yeah, like Snickers, peanut butter cup, Twix. So kind of made my own bag. And then my mother-in-law likes the Almond Joys. So I had to get a bag of those. So Henry's going to be a frog, but I still have to come up with a costume before Halloween for his party at school. So.
And why a frog?
He's into frogs and toads now.
He's into toads and frogs.
Frogs.
He's got a pet one that he brought back from vacation, right?
Yeah. No, he found it in the yard. He has a toad named Meatball. So.
The capybara infatuation was rather brief, huh?
It is. Capybara slid away, and now we're into toads. And he has one living in his bedroom, but it's in hibernation, so he doesn't come out much. So.
And frogs are good luck, I've heard. So that's good.
Yeah. Yep. And as Henry says, if you dig a hole and you find water, it's good luck. If you dig a hole and find poop, it's bad luck. So that's his other new.
That's what my bumper sticker says.
I said, where did you get that at? So I have a few pictures, include some Halloween candy.
Okay.
This is seasonal. If you're out getting your car service, this is your seasonal
oil. Are you getting your oil change? Are you getting the pumpkin spice oil change? That's good.
It's seasonal oil. Yes.
Yeah.
This is from yesteryear. This is what Halloween of yesteryear may look like when you were out.
How old you have to be to remember this, but that was what was given out, I would say 70 years ago. Right?
Apple
that was in the 50s.
Yep.
There was a thing when I was a kid where they would give you like gummy popcorn balls. Like there were women who spent days and days making.
They were still giving them out when I was a kid. Yes, I remember those.
Gummy popcorn balls.
They're not
What's
no,
that?
like Rice Krispie treats, but with popcorn. You put marshmallows, and sometimes they put food coloring, and they put them in a bag.
Nice.
So that was a favorite here. There's your thing you were talking about, the inflatable.
I want to acknowledge, let's see, that would be Linda sent me this. The Svengoolie inflatable was huge last year. They only made, I guess, 1,000 of them. They sold out in about 10 minutes. And I'm hoping they made more this year. I want to get Rich Coase, aka Svengoolie, on to talk about it. But last year when I called him, he said, I can't talk about it. They're already gone. They're sold out. People are upset. So I don't want to promote it. I can't give it any more promotion because it's out.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like. Why didn't they make more this year if that was the case last year? I don't think they made a whole lot more this year. Maybe that's what they want to do to keep people wanting.
There you go. It's that special edition kind of approach. to
Yes,
it.
and MeTV is seen in 95% of the country, so this goes all over the place now.
Yep. Okay.
Svengoolie,
This is
it's based out of Chicago, but Svengoolie can go to Philadelphia and be mobbed. He's like a beetle now.
Hey,
top of the hour. Weather, sports, 15 minutes of stuff you don't need.
There's
7,
weather
8,
in Florida.
clear. Is that outside, Alan? 7 degrees outside?
Yeah, it's actually a little cooler in here.
Okay. God, damn.
I saw this. I had this remember these as a kid. Remember the
a nut.
We liked all the tools. You'd pick all the walnuts
Right.
out of the shell. Yeah.
Usually, this was on your table, and you just waited for people to come over, and then you start cracking nuts.
Yep. Hazelnuts. There were walnuts. There was a nut that our parents used to, or some people who were not politically correct would call something really horrible. I believe those were Brazil nuts.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo was completely politically incorrect back in the day.
But that was in there usually. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bad.
This is my candy bowl, so not too bad for little bags of stuff. I filled the bowl up, so that's what the almond joys.
What do you put that? You don't put that on the porch, do you?
No, my mother-in-law hands out the candy while we take cake.
Yeah,
so
because that whole take one, please.
They take the whole dump. No.
Yeah.
This I saw online, which I don't even know what to think of it. Pepto-Bismol pancakes. They said you can pour that on a griddle and
I'm sorry.
What?
If you're that hungover, you're not putting fire under a pan. You're just drinking. This is.
I just thought
once
it was
again
terrible,
the interwebs.
I thought, and then to leave everybody, Gary's seen this. This pops up all the time, and in both of our feeds.
Ryan and I have this weird thing about whenever we see pictures of Marina City in Chicago, we send them to each other because we're fascinated by this structure. It's 2 towers that, when it was put up back in the 60s, the designer, the architect, thought it was going to be very futuristic and last beyond 100 years as far as aesthetics and architecture, and it went out of date about 30 years later.
And there's still apartments that look like they were when they were built. They have all the original.
Yeah, it was the Jetsons era.
Yeah,
and all the apartments, because it's circular, are in a pie shape. So how do you furnish a pie when things go into a weird angle? How do you even furnish that?
Yeah, so that's always funny that it just pops up all the time. That's all I have.
Austin Powers had an apartment in that, right? Because it seems like an apartment that was ready for a round bed. Groovy, baby.
Right. Hey, man. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And if you remember, a number of years ago, one of the Walendas, the tightrope walker family, one of them walked between the city towers, and all the people that lived there were out on their balconies watching. And I'm thinking, well, hopefully this will promote the sale of their apartments or condos, because I don't know, a lot of flight attendants apparently live there.
Didn't he walk across the river from there?
Right.
And then he did 2 walks between the 2 towers and then across the river. That was the best promotion they could have gotten. I don't know if it helped, but
I'm sorry, but the Golden Bachelorette actually did a really fine job of promoting the city of Chicago this weekend, although it looks like their crew never swayed beyond maybe a 4-block radius of the Riverwalk.
Yeah, they hit they hit the nucleus of the city that everybody kind of knows if you haven't been there. Marina City, Sears Tower, the river down by the river. All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep. See you later.
All right.
They've
Leslie,
made efforts to clean it up a bit. I do have to appreciate the fact that the Riverwalk isn't as creepy as it could have been. You were talking about special editions with like the Svengoolie inflatable. Well, Pepperidge Farm is causing a commotion for changing the name of some of their fish-shaped crackers from goldfish to Chilean sea bass. Most people won't be seeing a difference, but those who do want some specially branded Chilean sea bass crackers can purchase them online right now at shop.goldfishsmiles.com through next week. $7.38 for two 6.6-ounce bags. Why change the name, you might ask? Well,
Yes.
remember the huge amount of publicity that IHOP got for changing its name to IHOB, the International House of Burgers, or the attention Pizza Hut got by changing its name to Pasta Hut to introduce some new dishes? Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember IHOB or the one you just mentioned. The
Pasta Hut? I think we had both of
Pasta
these
Hut.
stories, and most people just weren't biting. So, but hopefully the Chilean sea bass are. So,
yeah. Okay.
And yes, scrotums were on my mind today, which is why I saw testicles in Jenna's glass there. But gentlemen, if you're planning a trip to Uganda, mind your scrotums. Cases of lymphatic filariasis are on the rise. The primary symptom of lymphatic filariasis, or LF, if you will, let's keep it simple, involves serious scrotal swelling. Nematodes carried by infected mosquitoes are the little buggers that cause LF, and they are apparently prolific. At least 36 million people are believed to be currently suffering from this disfiguring disease. One patient describes genital swelling so bad that he couldn't wear pants prior to having a doctor drain the fluid that tended to build up inside his scrotum.
And that's a perfect place to go. Look at the balls on that guy. The balls on that guy. There goes my trip to Uganda.
I know.
Scratch that off.
Vacation canceled.
Done. Uganda, done.
I think, you know what? That's where we should leave this show right now, is with swelling balls.
Swelling balls. All right, let's hit the button here, Alan, and give away some stuff. What do you say? Hashtag Halloween. Who's going to win all of that? And the music will start. Hit the button and look who is on the screen. Who's going to win? Who?
Chad! You lucky
Chad.
devil.
Chad. Alan, tell Chad what to do.
Chad, send your mailing address to Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text it to 773-888-2157, where regular charges apply. And Leslie and her buddies down at the USPS office in her neighborhood will get that stuff out to you, sometime before Christmas, maybe. If you're
Soon.
lucky.
Yeah, I'm usually within a couple of weeks of your win. So, who was the winner last week? I think was Kathy. You should be seeing your prize over the weekend. That's how quick that one went out. It helps when you send us your info pretty quickly, too.
You'll be playing with that slinky before you know it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. Here comes the cannoli down the aisle. It's delicious. Please take it. It's complimentary. It's beautiful. Look at it. Look at it.
I only see the McRib. I only see the McRib in here. Where is the cannoli?
Where's
Who
the
hid
cannoli?
Who hid the cannoli? Ryan, what'd you do
Where
with the
is
damn
it?
cannoli?
Damn it. Where's the cannoli?
All right. I'm finding it. Here it is. All right.
There
here
you
we
are.
go.
All right. There it is. It's beautiful.
There it is.
Nice. Leslie, what about the schnauzer?
You know what? The way Jenna created that cocktail today, why not just slather your schnauzer in caramel sauce, cinnamon, and sugar and have at it?
Okay.
By have at it, I don't know what that even means. But
yeah, you do. But we're going to
you
have at
figure
it.
it out.
And
you're adults.
back on Monday. Thank you for watching. It's time for the gear and flaps to come down. 3 in the Green, the GarrForce America's podcast. The voice of the globe has landed.
And that's all the news and nonsense for this week, GarrForce. Thank you for streaming.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Please be sure to like and share the show on all of your social networks.
More eyeballs.
If you're not already a subscriber, show your support by subscribing to GarrForceLIVE YouTube channel. For those watching a replay, that button is right here. All the rest of our episodes, right here.
Boom.
Hello?
Shakalaka.
Did you click something?